I am Stephanie Bonifield. I'm a sophomore. I started college at Grove City as a mechanical engineering major, and I did that for a semester. I pretty quickly figured out that it wasn't right for me. I didn't really enjoy the classes at all, and I was really bored. And then I changed my major to physics, and I did that for about 2 semesters. And now I'm a communication studies major. In high school, I did robotics, so everybody kind of told me, like, yeah, you should do engineering. And my dad went to Grove City for electrical engineering, so it's kind of like what he wanted me to do as well. So I kind of just like listened to everybody else in high school, where I was like, I mean, yeah, if that's what everybody says I should do, then they're probably right. You know, they're adults, they probably know what they're talking about. So I was like, yeah, you know, mechanical engineering sounds, you know, pretty interesting. I still do that. I didn't really do much research. Now, having changed my major twice, it's kind of a sure sign right away. Like, once you are even thinking about, maybe I should change my major, you probably should. So the first time I changed my major, I didn't really do much research. So when I switched to physics, it was kind of just because my credits transferred easily. Like, so I got elective credit and I got a lot of the core classes that physics majors take, so it was an easy switch. I did that for 2 semesters, and then I was like, still not really interested. I remember talking to my roommate because I had gotten a really, really bad test grade, and I came back to my room and like just had a total breakdown, and I started venting to her, and she was like, you know, to be honest, this whole time I've been really confused why you're a physics major. And I was like, oh, really? So we talked for a while, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should talk to career services. And then I went and talked to a lady there and told her about like what I'm interested in and what I like to do in my free time and stuff like that. And she was like, well, maybe you should look into communication studies. And I was like, I hadn't really thought about that before. I mean, some of their classes look fun for electives, but I hadn't really considered it for a major, like anything outside of STEM. So I had to really talk to my parents about it a lot. And then once they kind of understood my perspective on things, where I was like, yeah, you know, this whole time I've really wanted to be a writer, and I never really took it seriously, and they were like, okay, we'll see how this goes, and you can try it, and if you like it after a semester and you're sure this is what you want to do, then like that's great. That this has genuinely brought me closer to Christ and influenced my relationship with God a lot, because for 3 semesters I was just not really paying attention, and I think the whole time God was really trying to tell me, like, yeah, you know, this isn't going well for a reason, like you're not listening. I'm trying to tell you something, you're just not listening. You know, when I really sat down and was like, okay, obviously something is not working here. What do I need to do? And you know, you pray about it like anything else. And I had to really think about what my whole life had been like up till then, like what had God brought into my life that I wasn't really paying attention to initially. And I had been writing fiction, writing stories for years, like almost as long as I can remember. And you know, English had always been my best class in high school, and I loved journalism as a teenager. I liked, you know, creative writing a lot. I liked acting. I started to realize more and more that God had been trying to show me what I should be doing the whole time, and I just wasn't listening. So once I finally stepped back and I was like, okay, it's time to stop lying to myself about this. I'm not good at this. This is not what I want to do. And when I found communication studies, you know, it was like light flicked on or something. It was this, oh my gosh, how did I not know that this was a thing, you know? The difference between my experience in my old major and now is like night and day, where now I'm in class and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so interesting. You don't even notice the class is over because you're paying attention so well. You're like actually interested. And I've been a lot happier too since changing majors, where I'm like, wow, you know, it really does make a difference. And a lot of things are clearer to me now that I was like, wow, okay, that should have been really obvious back then. And I like, how did I not notice? Your college major it's not just like, okay, like what you put on your degree or something. Like, it's genuinely part of God's plan for you. And I think my journey from, mechanical engineering to communication studies is like, a real world representative of my journey from like a high school kid who, went to youth group but didn't really take it out seriously to, a young woman who has really formed a relationship with Christ. Definitely do as much research as you possibly can. I can't, stress it enough. Researching your major and like what they actually end up doing after college is a huge deal. It's something that I definitely did not do enough of. And I think visiting a college and like checking out the classes, maybe sitting in on a couple, seeing like, does this sound interesting, can probably help. And honestly, one of the biggest misconceptions that I had going into college, and I think a lot of people have, is that you go to college and you choose a major, and that major is what you want to do. That is what you want to do for the rest of your life, and like you should know going into college. But I think what college really should be for, and what it ended up doing for me at least, college is a great place to figure out what you want to do. It's not a big deal changing majors, and don't let people tell you like, oh, you changed majors, like why didn't you just do that to begin with? That's not always how it works out. And don't be afraid of saying, well, maybe this isn't right for me, because it might not be. It might be, God trying to tell you there's something out there that you're supposed to do and you just haven't found it yet.